And now, Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio.
When I pop the trunk, head the deck. Y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood.
Now act stupid, I'll pop the trunk. Now give me your boom.
Welcome to Jalen and Jacoby. In for Jalen Rose, we have the honor to be blessed with the presence. The champ is here. It's Carrie Champion.
The champ is here.
Thank you so much for coming on the program, Carrie.
Well, I am so happy I came on, especially today. Today's a wonderful day.
So much going on in the world of sports today. Obviously, during the television segment, we'll be talking about LeBron James, what Stephen A. had to say, what's going on with Kawhi, what's going on with PG. But we always say we give the people what they want here on this program.
Yeah.
And part of giving the people what they want is listening to the people. So we have a voicemail. If you call 985-80-JALEN, you can leave a voicemail. If you leave a voicemail and you give Reggie a shout out, he'll play it on the show just like this.
Hello, this is Nigel from Indianapolis. Shout out to Reg and the whole crew. I'd like to propose a soft move or boss move scenario for you to consider. Alright, so soft move or boss move. Getting a girl's number and actually calling her to ask her out as opposed to texting her. So my thought is, if a girl's cute, she probably has between 50 to 30 men texting her, sliding into her DMs, or hitting her up on dating apps at all times. So why not cut through the noise and actually call her directly?
Nigel. First of all, Nigel seems really put together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Nigel was like, we get a lot of callers that might be a little medicinal. It might, it's little late night calls.
Yeah.
They ramble on. Nigel was like, hello. He's very respectful. I appreciate that. I like Nigel's game.
I like his game, and it's almost, thoughtful. He planned it out, and I think, it's a boss move to call a woman and ask her out. I'm so over texting. We don't even communicate anymore. Write me a letter even, if you will.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And there's so much there's in the text, things can get read wrong.
Oh,
that happens to me a lot. Like the tone doesn't come through. And especially if you're single. But I do want to say something to Nigel. Now, again, I've not been dating for 16 years. But Nigel, you'd be surprised. Just because a woman's attractive doesn't mean that she's got 50 text messages from random dudes.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's real talk.
Yeah. Like a lot of attractive women will complain to me that they don't have enough going on in their dating life. And you're like, what are you talking about?
That's
It's
real
not
talk.
always the way you think it is. It's not always the way you think it is, Nigel. So Nigel, and also, I can just tell from the voicemail you left, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good on the phone. I would say you definitely call.
He said, give a call. Yes, go ahead, call. Swap.
Nigel, great name too, Nigel in Indianapolis. I like Nigel in Indianapolis.
Hey, Nigel.
We also have a tweet for you, Carrie. This is from one of our, we call them associate producers. This is International Goron. Goron says, who was your favorite player growing up?
Oh, easy breezy. Growing up, my favorite player was Magic. Like, easy breezy. That's not even a question.
You're so young, you missed the Magic Johnson era.
No, Magic Johnson, when I was you want to know a true story about Magic Johnson? I didn't see him play. I don't remember him being Showtime razzle-dazzle. I agree with that. But Magic was still the king here in L.A. in the 90s, early 90s.
He's still the king now.
He's still the king now. He's the governor. So he was always my favorite player because I would see him around everywhere. He would be very nice. You know how he is. You know what he does. He'll sit and talk to you for 10 minutes and ask you something that he knows nothing about, but pretend like he knows you.
I was in the halls of ESPN. I've had the honor to meet Irvin Magic Johnson a few times, and he makes you feel special. I was in the halls of ESPN, and I don't work on ESPN Countdown, but at the time, Bill and Jalen were on it, so I was just hanging out around ESPN Countdown from time to time.
Yeah.
And we're walking the halls, and he comes up to me. He's behind me walking. He stops me, taps me on the shoulder. I turn around. He shakes my hand, looks me right in the eyes. He goes, I just want you to know I appreciate everything that you do. Thank you so much. And of course, I'm like, yeah, Magic, of course. No problem. I got you. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I do absolutely nothing for you or this show. Literally nothing. I'm just here for the food spread that they have out on Wednesday nights.
But that's the kind of man he is. He just I just want to tell you, I appreciate first of all, he does know what you do. He knew that you were an invaluable employee here at ESPN. You didn't work on that show, but you're invaluable. You're a part of this core. You're the fabric of this organization, and he knew that.
And I also want to say,
what do you want to say? Meeting
Magic is great, but meeting and having brief conversations with his son EJ is even better. EJ.
What EJ do you?
EJ is the next Oprah. I promise you.
Why? What did he say?
He's just so sweet and nice, and he dresses so great. He's a breath of fresh air. He's just so happy. He's complimentary. I like people to compliment me. Yeah,
I like people to compliment
me. Yeah.
What did he say?
He was really nice. He's really nice. He liked my jacket or something.
He did not like your jacket.
Goran, no, he did. Goran also said, "Are you a die hard or die easy fan like Jacoby?"
Die hard, and I'm assuming die easy is somebody who's like not really with the fam, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. I move whenever I want.
No, I know. I'm hardcore, and that's when you told me you were that, I was like, yes, that's cold blooded. Why? How's that even possible?
Here's the thing: is I just follow my heart.
I follow my heart. No.
I follow my heart. Like, I used to be a serious Celtics fan, and my heart's not in it the way it used to be.
Oh, so
and then I lived in LA. I would go to Clippers games. I like the Clippers. I was in New York. I would go to Knicks games. I would like the Knicks. Like, I just follow my heart. Now that I'm back in New York, I'm back on the Knicks train. I might even go to some Nets games.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. Are you going to be a Laker fan when Bron comes to play?
No doubt. Oh, no doubt.
You are crazy. You're not supposed to say no doubt. You're supposed to say no.
Real quick.
Oh, my God.
Quick.
I love you. Okay, go on.
But I'm a switch when they play the Celtics. The Infinite One. The Infinite One has a good question. I know you listen to the podcast every day and watch the show every day, so you're familiar with our new segment, Cultural or Regional.
Yes. I'm very familiar.
The Infinite One wants to know, is kayaking cultural or regional?
That's a good question. I'm going to say regional because when you're on vacation, you kayak. People try it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to call it cultural. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I think when you go on vacation, no matter who you are, if someone offers that as an excursion, you're going to try it. No?
No.
No?
I'm just trying to think. I haven't seen... Yeah, I would say it's regional.
Kayaked.
I'd say it's regional. I'd say it's regional.
Right.
Kayaking is also a lot more fun than you think.
It is. It's a lot of fun. And it's exercise, by the way.
It's barely exercise. The boat moves more than you think it would. Like, it's not hard. You have control over that thing. It's not like in a canoe, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe in a canoe. Canoe's too easy to tip. Kayak's not easy to tip.
I definitely don't feel safe in a canoe, and I don't think anybody can fit. You're too tall. Could you even get in a canoe?
No, I've probably been in one canoe in my life when I was a kid.
And
I was just nervous. I was scared. I didn't like it at all.
Okay.
Let's give the people what they want.
Ryan! I don't know how else to say this, so I'll just say it.
What is it, Linda?
I think we should see other people.
Are you breaking up with me? On a roller coaster?
Well, we do have a lot of fun. Maybe we should stay together.
An emotional roller coaster? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
I just need a little me time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Another report from this morning comes from our colleague Stephen A.
Oh,
Stephen A says that he heard that Cavs owner Dan Gilbert said that he wouldn't mind if LeBron James left because that would mean that he would get his team back. My question for you, Carrie, does this kind of sound like breaking up with somebody before they break up with you?
Yeah, but the person's already broke up with you. Have you ever had that happen to you? I can tell you about that. Okay, so I have been broken up with before, but then I tried to act like it was mutual. I was like, I'm glad we came to this decision.
We all do that.
Yeah, we didn't come to this decision. You broke up with me. So I totally get this, and I understand Dan, but he's always running his mouth, and I hope this report isn't true. But just chill out, because LeBron could have wanted to come back to Cleveland. He had no idea. That could have been, that's it. He just pushed him right on over the cliff.
I just love how Dan Gilbert acts like he's going to bring the ball up next year or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, oh, now I can get my team back because I really felt like he was taking away from a lot of my shots. My usage rate was down.
No.
It's like, Dan, you own the team, dude. You're a millionaire. It's your team.
He doesn't own the team. Sorry, I keep doing this. I apologize. Hair in my face. Okay.
Don't apologize.
He doesn't own the team, though. That's why he's so upset. You know that, too, because LeBron is the GM. He is the president. He held him hostage. And I don't know. I don't know if he could... I think Dan allowed that to happen because he wanted a championship so bad. So that's on Dan. He can't be mad talking about I want my team back. That's on him. You own the team.
Well, something tells me that we'll hear a lot more about LeBron and his free agency in the coming days, but we still have this Kawhi Leonard thing floating out there. Mark Stein of the New York Times is saying that the Spurs are ready to deal Kawhi Leonard, and then Yahoo's Jordan Schultz is saying that LeBron actually spoke to Kawhi, and Kawhi reached out to LeBron. And there are some rumors that the Lakers are putting together a Godfather package to land Kawhi Leonard. You are a big Lakers fan. You are wearing a Lakers jersey. Would you support putting together a package that would include perhaps Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Hart, and a couple of first-round picks to land Kawhi Leonard? Would you support that type of leveraging the future for the present?
Okay, so here's a thought. I have a hard time believing the Lakers are going to give up every single person, every single young player, their future, especially, to be honest with you, especially Kyle Kuzma, for... It just doesn't make sense. But they can give up future picks, and they can give money. So I think a Godfather package doesn't necessarily include all of those players that you mentioned, probably the bulk. But if they kept one, they're probably going to keep Kuzma. That's what I think. Yeah. Don't you think?
Well, Kuzma himself was like, now that I'm hearing myself in these rumors, let me connect some dots here. Here's what Josh Hart tweeted, who's been speaking about getting traded. Josh Hart took to Twitter and he said, Kyle Kuzma, why we the only Lakers that didn't throw out a pitch for the Dodgers? Thinking emoji. Look at Josh Hart. Josh Hart, he's connecting the dots. Who's a part owner of the Dodgers, Ms. Champion?
That would be Magic.
Magic Johnson. So do you think there is a chance that perhaps Magic Johnson is not featuring these two young Lakers because these two young Lakers will not always be young Lakers for a long time?
You are absolutely correct. So they probably have to give up Kyle because Kyle is so valuable. So that's the only way. Because do you think Pop really wants Alonzo?
No. He's already said on wax that they're like, no, we're not really interested in Lonzo or LeVar or LiAngelo or LaMelo or
that doesn't fit. That doesn't fit with Pop's whole style. His stilo does not get down like that. So no, I'm with you. So perhaps that's it. Okay, so Josh, look, it was nice knowing you. It was great to have you on the team. I appreciate you,
Kyle,
great. You're great. Here's my thing with Kyle Kuzma. I'm going to tell you something right now. How I feel about him.
Please do.
Have you ever, his glow up came too quick for him because he's really feeling himself. I like you, Kyle.
He really is.
He's really feeling, he went from this nice, humble kid from Flint to now I wear velvet. And I was like, how do we go from humble kid to Flint to wearing velvet?
It was like hard scrabble kid from Flint working hard to play in the summer league to all of a sudden I have a mixtape and I wear crazy clothes and I'm embracing my NBA superstardom.
Yeah, and let me get rid of this Porsche that I have and let me get something better. Wait, what? You're 5. Chill out. Like, you really just felt this love recently.
Well, perhaps you can enjoy Kyle Kuzma on the Lakers for longer because there are also reports that the Celtics are putting together some trade proposals that the Spurs are listening to. One of those rumors is that Kyrie Irving, of all people, could be included in a deal to get Kawhi Leonard in Boston. Do you think that this is a realistic possibility?
No. I think Danny Ainge is smarter than that. I don't think he would blow up the house to get. I think Kawhi's a great package, but I think Danny was like, I can wait till next year and get him when I know he's going to be here for some significant amount of time. Like, to me, everybody on that team is fire and dope. Those kids are special, and if he gets rid of anybody, it can't be at least his top 8. That rotation was so tight. I was like, what are you doing? Where'd you get these kids from? You landed gold. He could give up. He can't give up Kyrie. No, I think Danny's too smart.
Jaylen Brown is sort of one of the people that they're going to center a deal around, but I don't think Jaylen Brown gets it done for Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
But one thing that's interesting about these rumors with the Celtics and Kawhi is the Celtics are one of the only teams that has said this. We're concerned about Kawhi's health. Like, yes, he only played 9 games last year. Was he able to play at the end of the year, depending who you ask? But do you think that his injury is a legitimate concern for all these teams that are leveraging their future in order to land him in the present?
For the Celtics, it's interesting because they've got a black cat around injuries right now, running around the organization, focused on injuries. Saying, what happened to Kyrie? Kyrie's knee was always bad. He just had to handle it, right? And then they had Sally. I'm glad Gordon's doing well, and he should be back. And then they had the thing with IT. His hip. They knew they had, bad goods. So for them, I would be concerned about that. I would want to know where he is in this getting healthy rehab situation. And realistically, can you project him being able to play? Because they've been sidelined the last 2 seasons because of something unexpected like this. So
it is. And also, when you look at Kawhi Leonard, I would have thought that he would play his entire career with the Spurs. Just his personality, his fit with the organization. I would have thought, this is someone who's not going to be a wild card. They're not going to make rash decisions.
Yeah.
And if you do trade away young assets and picks to land Kawhi, there's always the chance that he doesn't re-sign. Carrie, you are a Lakers fan. And there you are in your Lakers jersey.
Shocking.
So just imagine this, Carrie. Imagine LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George all come to Los Angeles, except they're on the Clippers.
You are.
Could you see that happening? How would that make you feel? Why are you laughing? This is a legitimate thing.
I was so excited. You fooled me. I could. First of all, there is no scenario in which they would come to Los Angeles and play for a JV team such as the Clippers. There's just no scenario where that would happen. The Clippers will not win a chip, not in our lifetime, until they move out of the city of Los Angeles. Not in our lifetime. They need to be like the San Diego Clippers. That's the only way they're going to be able to ever win a chip. They always play in the shadow of the Lakers. It has been that way. Now, one of those guys could go there, but he wouldn't be happy. He just wouldn't be happy. You ever get a haircut? Sure you have, right?
Yes, I've gotten a haircut before.
And when you get a haircut, when someone starts cutting your hair, and it's someone you've never been with before, you know right away if they're good or bad, right? You can just tell the way they handle
just to handle the Clippers. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The way they even put the smock on, if you will.
Of course.
Just their whole energy, right?
I'm loving this story.
Because my point is this. The Clippers are like a bad haircut. You get in that organization and you're like, oh, okay, you guys don't know how to cut hair at all. I see. I see. You fooled me. I sat in this chair because you got a fancy, fancy salon, but you can't cut hair at all. And so, therefore, that's what happens. When you come play for the Lakers, you're like, oh, I see. This is what a good haircut feel like. You know what I mean?
This is great because it's always funny. As a native Los Angelino, when players always say, I want to go to Los Angeles, it seems like they don't really mean the Clippers. We always talk about Paul George coming home to play and Kawhi Leonard's from Southern California. And we all talk about him being on the Lakers. But we have some breaking news about Paul George and his free agency. There's a lot going on as we get into the free agency deadline. Let's take a look at Paul George. This update. He's got braids. Paul George has braids. Now, Carrie, obviously, in regards to his free agency, this means that actually I have no idea what this means. What does this mean for his free agency?
Do you know what this means?
Tell me what this means.
This means he is coming to LA because the best braiders are here in LA. The best cornrows are here in LA. The best braiders are here in LA. You can't get a good braider in OKC. And so this tells me he's coming to LA. Now, if in fact we see that Kawhi has new braids, brand new braids, not mushy braids, brand new braids, he too is coming.
It seems like Kawhi Leonard's braids always look like they were done 2 weeks ago, always. I don't know how that is.
Because they were done in San Antonio.
This is interesting. Kawhi, what is his preferred hairstyle?
Cornrows.
Paul George just got
cornrows.
This definitely means that
they're coming in LA and playing for the Lakers.
First from Carrie Champion on Jalen and Jacoby.
Yeah.
Well, in addition to the braids, there's some actual words that Paul George had about his free agency. Let's listen.
At the end of the day, that's all I want to do. I want to be a champion. In a way, it's like I want to come here, I want to play for the home team and put a Laker jersey on. That's always going to be something that I want to fulfill, but at the same time, it's like, what's the best move, though?
A lot of wine on the table there during that conversation. I liked it.
But did you hear what he just said?
Yeah, he wants to put on the Laker jersey.
I have one on now.
Mm-hmm.
Come home,
It's not
PG.
number 13. It's not number 13.
That's okay. We can fix it. It has a 3 in it. Come home, PG. Come home.
I always said you cannot spell purple and gold without PG.
What about those? By the way, have you seen? Oh, you're not here. They're in downtown LA. There are a ton of those billboards all over. I forget you moved to New York. You missed it.
I did miss it. Did you know that I actually made up the PG purple and gold thing, and someone told someone else about those billboards, and I have something to do with it. So if Paul George does come to the Lakers,
I didn't know that.
You owe me a beer. Moving on. This is something I've always wondered. There are reports that Jamal Crawford, one of my favorite players in the NBA, could potentially take a very small salary and join, wait for it, the Warriors. Mm-hmm. And this got me thinking, and this is something I've always thought, and something that Jalen always denied is a real thing that could possibly happen. Carrie, why don't you think more players, veteran players that have made millions in their career, would take less money to join great teams and contend for championships?
They've done it before. Haven't they? I mean, we've seen.
I mean, it's happened, of course, but it's sort of like the end of the career ring chasing stuff, like your Karl Malone, Gary Payton year.
I was just thinking about
that sort of thing. Like it's
Chuck
happened before, but like I mean, actual like effective players like Jamal Crawford taking less money to sort of like join a quote unquote super team. I'd love to see that happen more.
I would think it would be ego. I would think if you're an effective player, and that's key how you place that. If you're an effective player and you know that you still have it, for you to join a super team like the Warriors, you know that you would be pretty much relegated to the bench, which he has been, but how much playing time do you actually get? Do people really value what you do? Like, people give JaVale McGee a hard time on that team, you know what I mean? And for different reasons, but I know he feels like he's just the other, not even the sixth man, just like the other man at times, which is not true. So I would think it's ego. I would think that their ego is like, I still go somewhere and ball. I still go somewhere and get some minutes. I don't have to be sitting all day, you know?
You actually sound like Jalen when you say that, actually, because he still thinks he can play. But we have a tweet. We have a tweet from Alice Kennedy, which is interesting because we always talk about Paul George and Kawhi and LeBron joining on the Lakers. But here's what he said: several veterans have told me they'd settle for a minimum deal with the Lakers if they land LeBron James. All eyes will be on LA, and very few teams have cap room this summer, so they'd have no trouble adding complementary pieces to fill out the roster. Zach Lowe also said that it doesn't have to be LeBron and someone else, that if LeBron ended up on the Lakers, as they're currently constructed, that they could trade for somebody, and free agents would find that to be a desirable destination. Could you see LeBron joining the Lakers, quote-unquote, by himself, and then them adding players from there?
Oh, yeah, no, I think he's coming no matter what. I think that we focused a lot on him chasing chasing Michael Jordan, but he's coming because he wants to do something more than that. And you've heard that. Ramona Shelburne reported that he's looking more like Muhammad Ali. He wants to be in that conversation about being more so effective off the court than on the court. So I think that he's coming no matter what. I think it's a lifestyle. I think that if you've ever been to LA, and you know this, you lived here. Come on.
I know. I just love that you're saying all this while wearing a Lakers jersey. You're like, he's definitely coming to the Lakers. I'm an unbiased journalist right here. This is my unbiased journalistic opinion, is that he is coming to the Lakers.
I'm just being objective and fair. Yes.
Well,
thanks for having me on the show. Your producers are really tough. They're really mean. Whew.
They are. They work very hard.
Yeah.
Because we have stories like this to discuss. We have a very important update, Ms. Champion.
Uh-oh.
By now, we have all seen this video of this young man on the hood of a car going up to 70 miles an hour down the highway in Florida. And not only is he on the hood of a car going 70 miles an hour, he's on the phone while doing so.
Uh-huh.
We have important information about this. We now know the reason he is on the hood of the car. The woman driving the car is named Patricia Isidore, and she and him have a child together. She was going to pick up the child. He did not want her to do so. Somehow he got on top of the car, and she drove him around, and she said he had an opportunity to get off, which he did not take. He's actually calling 911. I have a lot of questions for you about this, Carrie.
Yeah.
First question is... she was actually charged with, let me get this right, culpable negligence. Do you think the charges should be dropped?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
really?
Not. Yeah. What's the problem? I can't even get that out. Like, are you kidding me? What are you doing? You guys are so upset with one another. You can't. And women sometimes, I don't know if you know this, Jacoby, we go crazy. And that's not a good representation of what we do. You've never heard of that before?
Never. I've never experienced that ever. I've never experienced that ever in my life, ever before. Never happened. Well, you know what happens when women go crazy? They listen to Drake. And they've got a lot of Drake to listen to. Today he released Scorpion. 25 songs, 2 albums. Is 25 songs and 2 albums too much Drake?
No, never. Nice for what? I need anthems all summer long. I need these anthems to take me into the fall.
Okay.
So I appreciate everything that he's doing. There's an anthem there for anybody and everybody going through something. Take them into the fall.
Well, we all know that Pusha T said that he had a child on a diss track. He addressed that and saying that he was, quote, I was hiding my kid from the world. I wasn't hiding my kid from the world. I was hiding the world from my kid. What do you think about this revelation from Drake and this explanation?
I think that he was embarrassed. I think he wrapped his head around it. I think as an adult, he realized that he couldn't be what he had known in his life, and he's dealing with it now.
Well, I'm I'm sure it's going to lead to more emotions and more songs and more
He's
tears.
a very emotional guy.
Listening to
He's
this
an artist.
album over the weekend. Thank you so much, Carrie Champion, joining us on the show today, and we have another voicemail.
Jalen and Jacoby, how you doing? This is JJ from Houston, Texas. Shout out Reggie. I love you all guys. Good question. And I'm listening to your podcast where you guys are talking about food, and this question actually came up. Is it regional? Is it cultural? Having dinner early. I'm talking about like my job is to knock on doors. I'm a door-to-door salesman, and listening to your podcast is part of my job. I wouldn't be able to do my job without it. But I noticed that around 5:30, 6 the latest, I'm knocking on doors and people go, oh yes, I'm interested in your product. However, we're in the middle of supper. Like, having dinner that early, because me as a Dominican, as a black Dominican man, I never had dinner not earlier than 7 o'clock, maybe 8, sometimes 9. So is this a cultural thing? Is this regional? Like having dinner that early? Am I the only? Am I wrong on this? Holla your boy. Love you guys. You guys are the best. Reggie, you awesome. Keep getting them checks.
Definitely regional. Definitely regional.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, first of all, I just moved from Los Angeles to New York. It's hard to get a dinner reservation at 9 o'clock in New York. You can't, and it's easy to get a dinner reservation at 6 p.m. In Los Angeles, everyone eats dinner at 6 p.m. It's regional. People eat dinner earlier on the western part of the country. That's a fact. It's a fact.
But I still didn't understand what you just said. You said you can't get a dinner reservation at 9 because everyone's eating dinner, so you're still eating dinner at 6 no matter what.
Well, that's just because I don't have enough pull to get fancy dinner reservations.
That's
My
not
point
true.
is people eat dinner later on the East Coast.
Okay.
Like I say, the average dinner is like 8 p.m. here, and on the West Coast, average dinner is like 6 p.m.
No, you're correct. And even in even another country, Europe, they eat dinner at midnight. They're like 11 o'clock dinner. Yeah, so you're right.
They sit down and have appetizers.
You're right, and talk.
It's regional. This is regional. This is definitely regional.
No, you're right.
I would say it's definitely regional. Shout out to Steven in Provo by way of Los Angeles. I like that we somehow, instead of saying actual ethnicities, people just say look like Jacoby or look like Jalen. That's I don't know how that happened in the sort of the lexicon of this program. But that's how we say it now. Yeah, that's how we say it now.
It's appropriate.
That's how we say it. We also have a Twitter question for you. This is from King Bagela. King Bagela.
Oh, okay.
Shout out.
I know him.
Best move for the Lakers right now.
What do you mean? Oh, he's asking what the best move is for the Lakers. Mm-hmm. Okay, look, the best.
A lot
move,
of Lakers questions.
Yeah, apparently, because they're the talk about team. The best move for the Lakers is this: like, no matter, I think they should be smart. I think LeBron's coming here, no matter what. I think LeBron has been very specific about who he wants if he comes. So that's why I don't think that they are going to, blow up the entire young squad for Kawhi. I think Kawhi will come here no matter what. If not this year, he'll be back next year. So the best move for the Lakers is to just chill out and wait for LeBron to make his decision. And then, if you build it, they will come. Have you seen that movie?
I have seen it. Field of Dreams. I cry at the end every single time.
Do you really?
Every single time. Oh,
wow.
Yeah. I've probably seen that movie 8 times. I cry at the end every single time.
Okay.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you loving all of this Lakers talk?
Yes.
Like, it seems like the last 2-3 years, like, even if you guys, this is Los Angeles, it's just nice to be relevant. Like, I swear, like, even just being spoken about, even just being flirted with, even if no one comes, like, if no one comes this year, which is very much on the board, does it still feel good to be in the conversation?
No, you are so right. No one may come here. We may miss on every single one of these big free agents, but it feels good to be flirted with. It feels good to have you slide in my DMs. It feels good for you to say, I like what you're wearing today. Your smile is cute.
Yes, it does.
It feels good. It feels good for you to tell me I can kind of dance. It feels good.
Especially with LeBron James. And what do you think? Because I know you've got your ear to the streets there in Los Angeles. What are you hearing in terms of like, his kids are looking at Sierra Canyon and these other private schools? I have actually been hearing this stuff about LeBron's kids going to private schools in Los Angeles for about 4 years now. Is any of it real?
Listen, I think GP spoke out of turn. I think we know what we're talking about. But I do know this. I will tell you this. And this is not me trading secrets. The lady who does my makeup, based out of New York, often comes here. She does a lot of celebrity makeup. She often has to fly to LA to do Savannah's makeup.
Oh.
And she told me that Savannah loves it here. She's happy here. Yeah. She's at her best here. And that is a real story, real report. I'm not lying. I'm not giving up anyone's name who does my makeup. No one that you know, it's a freelancer, if you will. And she was like, yeah, no. She didn't, and she wasn't saying it like, oh, I'm hanging out with Bron and Savannah. She's like, oh, I can't do your makeup because I'm doing her makeup today in LA. So I know, you know the saying, happy wife.
Happy life. I love this. Have you noticed his Insta story is basically just him filming her working out a lot? And I feel like my wife would be so mad at me if I did that. You know what I mean? Like LeBron James is on vacation and they clearly work out every day and all he does is film her working out and kind of coach her along. And I'd be like, my wife would not be having that whatsoever.
She'd be like, I'm all set. No, thank you. She probably feels some type of way too. I've seen her give him a look like, if you don't put that camera down.
Yes. Every single time.
Put that phone down.
Every single time.
With the fingers.
Shout out to Savannah. Shout out to Carrie Champion dropping secret little jewels here on Jalen and Jacoby for our podcast exclusive listeners.
You're welcome.
Sounds like Savannah's been spending some time in Los Angeles.
A lot
sounds like
of time
to me.
Here.
Sounds like it seems like she likes it, and she likes to get her makeup done. And you look great, so I'm sure Savannah looks great too.
Yeah.
Carrie, we're wrapping up. I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. We really appreciate it.
Do you guys
appreciate
pay
you
me?
dropping secret nuggets about Savannah's makeup. We will definitely be paying you in water bottles and various snacks that you can find around.
Red Bull.
Exactly. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, thanks for having me,
Obviously, you are welcome back any single time. Why, Reg?
Done. We're not done. Got to give the people time. Give people what they want.
They're my little guys. I love them.